Let's segue to censorship because I have a story from Lawfare. Supreme Court grants certiorari, I'm pronouncing that wrong probably, in Gonzalez v. Google and Twitter v. Tamne, an overview. I'm not sure these are the exact cases. I believe these are the cases in question, but I highlight these stories to tell you that I had a phone call with Google today. It was scheduled in advance a few weeks ago. I received an email where it was sent, I believe, to larger YouTube channels, warning that Section 230, this is the shield big tech uses to eliminate content they don't like as distasteful, while being immune from any responsibility due to hosting some of this content. I believe they're on track to lose these protections in a very serious way. So Google started doing this reach out. Got an email.
Can we focus on that point? Because I think it's a big one in terms of the odds that they're going to lose. I think the odds are very high they're going to lose because their argument is we're not an editorial, we're just a publisher, meaning anyone can put anything out there, our hands are clean. However, if I'm editorial, if I'm picking articles, I'm promoting people, then I am having a voice and therefore the protections don't apply to me. Then I can be guilty of libel or whatever, slander, whatever it is. And very clearly, all of these Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are putting their finger on the scale and promoting some things over the other and making editorial decisions. It's unambiguous.
So they're panicking.
Yeah.
I got an email and it said, we want to make you aware about a Supreme Court taking on these cases, which will have a big impact on recommendations. If the Supreme Court rules against us or our position, we may not be able to recommend your content anymore. And you know what I thought when I saw that?
Ian should do porn.
Me too.
I thought maybe that's a good one. Maybe.
On minds.
But no, I laughed. Are you kidding me? That they would email this when we know for a fact they suppress our content. And I say we know for a fact because let me tell you this. I get a phone call from the guy. We had a meeting. I get the email. It says, please schedule. Here's my availability. I don't want to be mean to the guy. He called me and he was advocating for his position. I respect that. He wants to talk to me again tomorrow. I scheduled the meeting for whatever date was available. And we had some emergency stuff going on today. Obviously, we had a heck of a yesterday. So, of course, we get slammed with a bunch of stuff today. You get it. But I get a phone call. I'm in the car. And I'm like, well, I answer it anyway. And I'm like, hey, I'm in the car. And I'm like FaceTiming this dude. And he basically was explaining that if the Supreme Court agrees with these people, that means YouTube, look, Section 230 says you can't sue. I'll give the simplified version. Can't sue YouTube because of what Tim Pool says. I am putting something out there. YouTube did not say it. However, it also says YouTube can't be considered a publisher or of this content, even if they moderate and have editorial control over the platform. Now, how do you have it both ways?
Right. You're a corporation. You always have it both ways.
Right. So they call me and they say, listen, it may be, and this is so hilarious. The guy's like, look, we might not be able to issue recommendations anymore. That means search because we use an algorithm. So if imagine someone searched for your name and the videos wouldn't come up. And I'm just sitting there like, oh yeah, imagine it, huh? Imagine it, huh? I went off. I'm sorry. I snapped. I said, we hit 800,000 views on our video. No trending, no recommendations. There was a period where Google removed this YouTube channel from all of their search. You could type in the title of a video. And I was like, and you're going to call me and tell me that I should be worried about this. You understand that you have so much weight against me. We succeed in spite of what you've done, that if YouTube strips you of your powers, we'll actually benefit from it.
Yes. Two points. First, people at home don't realize that when Tim gets this angry, his beanie becomes a mushroom cloud. So it's kind of really cool to watch. And I'm the victim of this too. On Instagram, you can't search for my name. You can't even tag me. You have to spell out Michael Malice because I'm completely Satterban.
On Instagram, if you try to follow me, it gives you a warning telling you not to follow me because I spread, quote, misinformation. You try to tag me, it says, don't. You sure you want to tag this guy who spread misinformation?
You're more badass than me.
Yeah. YouTube has been screwing me for in my entire career. What you described, Tim, has been happening throughout my entire career. YouTube promotes authoritative sources. CNN, MSNBC, fake news spreaders. They don't spread independent media.
And it's almost
I'm not in the search. I'm not in the results.
And it's almost impossible to find Ian's pornos. I have looked a lot.
Listen.
Look on the Crossmack
I want to tell you more about what this guy was saying.
It's
to
not
me.
actually porn on there.
He said something to the effect of, imagine if we could no longer recommend you and you were no longer part of, like, I'm paraphrasing, something like the mainstream conversation or something. And I'm just like, guy, that's what you've already done. We created a new channel, Timcast Music. We put up a video on it. It gets 500,000 views in a day. 2 days later, it is trending, number 23, I think number 23 on YouTube. Surprise, surprise, a brand new channel with a big video, gets play, we're trending. But IRL can get 500,000 views on an episode in 2 hours and never reach that mark.
Can I make a point? My understanding is from someone who has inside knowledge about this, that the trending up section on YouTube is manual.
Right.
Of course.
So
It's not organic.
I think it's a mix, but I think it's largely editorial.
Yeah.
I think there's obviously a component, but my point was to the guy. I said, why is it that we know for a fact you can't Google search my videos? Like Facebook comes up, you can't even search my channel. When you would search for Timcast or Timcast IRL, it would just show you playlists created by other people because they removed us from search. And you're telling me that you want the ability to be free from all liability when you choose to promote political speech from, say, ISIS. But then you expect me to defend you when you put the weights on us when we call out these bad players. I said this to him, I hope that the Supreme Court rules against you and everything is forced to return to reverse chronological feed because I will do better from it.
Absolutely.
But this talks to earlier about how the suits are often oblivious, because I bet you any money that he had the exact same speech for everyone he was trying to call. He had a list of like 50 people and he had the exact same speech and was oblivious to who he's talking to.
And then the call got disconnected, I guess. But
that was us. We control the phones and the weather.
Didn't like that. Mm-hmm. Maybe he got disconnected. But as I was talking, and I'm heated, but I was being polite. Like, it's not you personally, but dude, don't call me and think I'm going to side with you on this one. I don't think he did his research.
I just love the idea that like you're going to holler up like Ketanji Brown Jackson and be like, come on. And she's like, all right. Like, I'm going to rule in favor of them.
Yeah.
No, right? But I also thought that it was kind of funny that Google thinks they can start calling creators and saying support our immunities.
They can. I bet you a lot of these creators are completely are synthetic and a function of their algorithm.
But I'm also willing to bet that when he calls leftists, they said the same thing I did. LGBT creators have been complaining a long time that YouTube suppresses that because it's not advertiser friendly. So they're going to call them and be like, defend our immunity. They're going to say, no, restore reverse chronological feed so that we can have my video can be shown to my followers.
I bet you there's a lot of people who are happy to play ball. Because if you look at any industry, the people at the top are often happy to lick the boot.
There's always some Ralphs willing to suck up to power and authority, yes. But I think a lot of people are absolutely frustrated and pissed off at these algorithms controlling our society that have been absolutely a net negative, not just to the mental health of this country, but when we see the mental warfare that's being created out there. You're gonna be doing something here.
What do you mean by algorithms? Say it. Name them.
Well, I'm not going to, bat an eye when the same huge organization that labeled me a conspiracy theorist now won't be able to editorialize. I'm not going to be mad at that. It's totally fine. Let people see what they want to see. It's that simple. If they subscribe to something, if they want to see something, let them see it. We're adults here. Stop treating us like children. I don't want to be recommended these stupid RV videos or these stupid truck life videos. I don't want to be recommended some kind of psyop. Stop with the psyops and stop with the nonsense. I want to listen to what I want to listen to, and that's what the people demand, and that's what the people will get.
I'm on Twitter, and they have their algorithmic feed and their home feed, is what it's called, and they have the reverse chronological feed. I do really well posting my content and getting shares and getting followers without any kind of weird algorithmic impedance. So YouTube deserves to have that stripped away from them.
My Twitter following went up by an order of quadruple new followers a day when some switch got switched 10 days ago.
Yeah.
And Ben Askren, who is now 0 for 3, my episode with him is dropping next week. When we recorded, he had more followers than me and was rubbing it in my face, and now I have 10,000 more than him. So suck it, Askren. I now know how Jake Paul feels. Point being, there was clearly some kind of algorithmic screwery on the back end that was hurting me before and is either neutral or helping me now.
Yeah, I experienced the same thing. Probably you too, Tim.
Have you heard there's like that internet meme law that says any online forum without moderation will become right? Something like that. Any online forum without sufficient moderation will become right wing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely to become radicalized.
No. That's not.
I don't know who came up with that.
No, I thought it was Robert Conquest Laws of Power. The second one is any organization not dedicated to being right wing will become left wing. So that might be an inversion of that.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that's the assumption that the powers that be right now have been co-opted by some sort of leftist mentality, some sort of communist or socialist movement.
Well, but so I don't know where that meme came from, but you take a look at like Reddit pre-psyop control by big powerful PACs and organizations. Yeah, the memes were all like.
Well, that's where the Donald one came from.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And I think it was MIT Technology Review said that the Donald and 4chan's politically incorrect were the progenitors of almost all of the memes that were going viral. They were funny. People liked them. The Pepes. They'd end up on Twitter, and then Katy Perry was sharing them. No moderation. It was just meritocratic. The best memes rose to the top. Everyone liked it, shared it. That culture built. And then all of a sudden they had what leads to, I guess, the dead internet theory, this emergency panic session where moderation comes in like crazy. There's Michael Tracy tweeted this. Twitter's rules from 2015, pre this big emergency meeting, was basically don't incite violence, but we will not intervene in any disputes between people. Now it's we take a political stance, hardcore, etc.
Yeah, YouTube in 2006, when I started, June 2006, on the Cross Mac channel, go check it out. It was all owned by YouTube. Google had not bought the company yet. That was like a year and a half later. And they were just featuring whatever they wanted every day. There'd be 10 featured videos every day. And throughout the day, they'd drop down one every like 2 hours. A new one would come up. So you'd be slowly siphon off the front page. It was all idealistically motivated. Whoever was controlling YouTube at that time was deciding. It was Steve Grove, who was running politics, was like, I like your video, Ian. I'm going to feature it in news and politics. So he liked it. His political, both our political agenda got pushed, which was re-elect Barack Obama. But then at some point, Google bought the company. I saw that's dangerous. That's corporate conglomeration. This could be really bad. People started getting banned. And then the politics, new people probably came into the power and control. So since the beginning, it's been a platform and a public, like they are deciding who gets to be seen since the very beginning.
I think Elon Musk has shown us a lot of what this is. Big advertisers are scared because left-wing activists organize, and they organize predominantly on Twitter, these campaigns against them. Now there's uncertainty and they don't know what to do. I think it's funny. Advertisers announced that they were going to pull off their ads or reduce spending on Twitter due to uncertainty. And my personal view is the uncertainty likely is which side is going to attack us more, and we don't know who to side with anymore.
Same thing. This is how Times Square for Pride became all rainbows, 25/8. I've tweeted this before, that only corporate America can make sodomy and perversion seem downright boring. But before gay marriage became universally accepted in corporate culture, they just kept their mouth shut. They would have these little organizations like, we have this little program. But now you buy a candy bar and it's a
rainbow.
It's got a rainbow flag on it. Every month is Skittles.
Except for their brands that operate in like the Middle East or whatever. Those are the ones that never change.
Don't they have a banned substance in Skittles that was recently found out that was absolutely really horrible for people?
Adrenochrome?
Hold on.
Do you think that we should?
No, I don't think that's where the
stuff.
I don't think that's where they hide the adrenochrome.
Do you think that we should advocate to ban corporate advertisement in social media?
No. What? Really?
It's just pure- it's
that's such a First Amendment
it's-
violation.
You communist.
Yeah, go back to
social-
Russia.
social
Go back to
media-
Russia,
Michael
Natasha.
keeps looking at me when Ian says stuff with this look of like, I can't believe he's here.
Social media is working in the
I love him, and I'm in love with him.
It's working. I love you too, Michael.
He says something and you look at me
You
with
better
his
know
face.
that.
No, I'm like,
What's he saying?
is he for serious?
Yeah, because I think the huge social media networks, the ones that I think where their code should be freed, like they're working in the commons. And at some point, if the advertisers are controlling the commons by blackmail or by saying, we will take our money away if you don't do what we say, that's bad for the commons.
I don't disagree with that, but what I'm saying is this is something that you're trying to kind of square a circle, and there's no easy answer one way or another. If you're going to have a subscription model, then it's going to be kind of Karen-oriented, because the ones who complain the most are going to have disproportionate amounts of power, so things are going to be kind of inoffensive. So I don't see an easy answer here.
Right, because if you remove advertisers from YouTube, for instance,
someone's
all
gotta pay
these
for it.
people with the partner program or I don't think it's called the partner program anymore, it's something else, but everybody would start losing their ad revenue.
Yeah.
That could destroy tens of thousands of careers, you know?
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.